And then what I have to do to get you the link for the video that we're creating is upload it to YouTube and then send you the link for the YouTube video, okay? So it won't be an instant that you'll have access to this video. However, here we are on your website. So your rank math is correct. This is the latest version, and that's what it is. Now, you remember he talks about posts and pages, correct? So
Yeah.
we're going to modify our two home posts. So when you click on posts, all posts, you come to this screen, and here's the two posts listed. Let me maximize this. And so they're listed by the title that's on the post. The first one is This is your online community. Read
Hmm.
what this means for you. Okay.
Okay.
And the second post is this one. And the date that it was published here is this is 1/10/25, and this is 1/21. So the way these posts work, there's no for r36.com/ something, which is our uh, keyword or the URL of the web page. On the posts, they align on your home page. Okay, so just 4r36.com is where you see these two posts. So let me explain that a little bit better. Sorry about the coughing. I better get my cough here.
Mm. No, that's fine. Mm.
Haven't really been talking. That's I take those inbound calls, and that's what happens right on the day that some days I don't get a call. I'd tell whatever, and the lady was really nice. She's excited like you to get going. Mm,
Hmm. Mm.
okay, that's better. Now, um, so from here, this is great. Well, let me just digress here for a second and go back. Now we'll go to pages, all pages. And this is what you'll be working with after you modify those two posts. So he explains in the video, most likely. I haven't watched the new videos, but remember, they're alphabetized by your title on the page. Okay, so I come down here and you have four pages. I think there's 25. No, I don't know how many are on a page, but anyway, you have four different pages of, and this is how you scroll through the pages. So you can see on posts, you only have the two. All right. So like this one is beauty supplies and this one is beauty and cosmetics. So this one is going to be a category and this one is going to be an offer. But that's how it goes. So, you're just going to want to poke around on here to understand how this is. And, just there's your contact us page. You'll be modifying that in the beginning here. So let me go back to the posts, all posts. They function the same, except that these are what show up on your home page. In other words, see here in your URL, there's nothing after the .com, and this is where the posts appear. Okay, so this is your online community. Read what that means for you. Now, here's something I want to put in this video because you're going to want to know this. So if you go to 1f16.com, this is what it used to look like before you made changes, right?
Hmm.
So that's why I know that you made a little modification here on this title because it's not exactly what Rory had when you got your website, and which is good. That's the goal. That's what we want to do. So you do need the focus key phrase in the title, and you have it there. You still have online community. This and you changed the words. So that's a great start. Okay, so here is an issue. Uh, Meta site admin login.
That was the thing. I think it
Uh,
had to do with my rank math, if I'm correct
Okay,
here.
so I am
Yeah.
gonna fix this. I need to add something here anyway. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. This is a little bit more advanced, but I'm gonna go to your dashboard and then, so there's always more than one way to do the exact same thing. But what we're concerned with is widgets. Okay, so you got to come down here to appearance and then we click on widgets. And left side of menu is your home page. Don't ask me why it's listed that way, but it is. All right. Right side content sidebar is the rest of your website. All right. So you really need two things on at the same time. Left side menu. So let's see here. And I don't see where that meta stuff was, but we're going to do it first off right here. So what we need here is the search. So in order to add search, I'm going to type search. And here it is. So this is the widget for the search that should appear on your home page. All right, so after I add that on there, and there it is, I'm going to update this.
Wait a minute. Okay. So how do I? Wait a minute.
You really won't have to do that because I'm doing it for you. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I just want to get this right. So let's go back to your home page and see if that fixed it. And there's another widget that I'm going to add to you for you as well. It's called the translation widget. So I'll put that on there in just a second. And it won't hurt for you to learn how to do this, but these are widgets. So this is your home page. So that error is replaced with this. Now it's correct. Okay, so that's done. All right, so when we go to a page, not your home post, your home, and the search is already there. See, it was already there. So we're just missing it on your home. All right, so now we fixed that. It looks a little different, but don't worry about that. It's just the widget that's in there. So now if you notice here, remember I said there's always more than one way. So I can actually go directly to widgets right here.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to appearance and click on widgets. It'll take me there. All right. So there's your search remember left side of menu is whatever is going to appear in your home, and the rest is right side content bar. So here it is when I open it. There's your search. All right, so now we need to add a widget. So I am going to add a custom HTML. So I don't see it listed here for what I want, but as long as I know what it is, which is custom HTML, if I start typing it, it'll pull it up. So watch, CUS, and here it is, custom HTML. But I need the code that's going to go in here. So just bear with me here, but everything remember is on RRR 247, and this is going to be for translation, TR. So translation right there, and then this is the video. It explains to people how to put it on there, but I'm putting it on there for
Okay.
you.
I
And right here it says located this Google Doc.
I didn't get that far on the
No,
training yet.
no, and you don't. This is the instructors are doing this now for the new students, and it's great exposure because you are going to want to do this, learn how to do this. So it's an HTML code, and it basically starts with this uh, division here. This. Oh yeah, see, so the div stands for division, but anyway, it's class anyway. So you need this code right here. All right, so this is HTML code. Remember, I told you you don't really need to know how code works, but we need to know how to use it. All right, so you copy this code, and now when I go back to your website over here and paste it in this HTML box, see it says right here, write HTML, Control V, and now I have it there, and it's open script here and off script here, so that's correct. Now I update this. And what I want to show you is the difference between left side menu bar and right side content bar. All right, so left side menu is your home page. We haven't added it here. We've only added the search. Oh, look, it did put it there. Oh, no, that's right side. Okay, so right side. So let's just go take a quick look here and so we can see that, yeah, look, the translation widget is not appearing on your home page, right? So if I go to one of your page, let's say contact us, look, it's here, English. So I need to put that same code. So I think it's, España would be Spanish, and people can read your blog based on their own wherever they are, because we have worldwide things that we affiliate. So this is added to your website now, and I just did that for you. And look at this one. It says their name. This is Hungarian right here. My wife was born in Budapest, and I have a whole Hungarian connection. So in Hungarian is actually Magyar in Hungarian. It's not
Hmm.
Hungarian. Anyway, that's what it
So do
is.
you
So,
speak fluent Hungarian?
yeah. See, if I click that now, this is what it
Yeah.
looks like in Hungarian.
Wow.
That's your translation
It,
widget.
wow.
So Hungarians can read this, and so that's why we want you to have this translation widget. All right, so we're going to add that. And I can make no put back on English if I can find it. I saw it here a minute ago when I was scrolling down. English, here we go. All right, so that explains that, but I need to, because remember, it's not on your homepage because left side content bar. So WordPress is going to treat your homepage a little differently. That's where your two posts appear. We're going to modify the content on those two posts, and then we'll be working on pages after that. But the modification process is basically the same. All right, so it's not a waste of time. We do need to modify this because right now it reads exactly what Rory has. And so you got to make it your own, and that's the goal here. And trust me, you're going to start out slow just like I did, and then it'll get faster and easier and the more you do it. And I can show you some tricks and things to learn
Okay.
how to do this.
This is a little off subject, but my goal is I okay. I need once I get started, I need to give my employer a 2 week notice. I plan to leave my company by February 15th. So if I can get started as soon as possible from now until February 15th, I think that would be great. So, I mean, this is a start, but
Yeah,
this
it's a
is kind of
start.
what I
Remember, we can't promise or guarantee anything. I would tell you not to quit your day job unless you have another one lined up because this is remember patience he talked about in the book, and we got to learn the art of performance blogging. I mean, I'm not saying you can't quit. You can quit your job or do your job. It's up to you. But I'm not going to be responsible for saying, okay, give them your notice because we didn't promise or guarantee any income amounts, and that's written in the terms that you agreed to when you first
right.
started up. This is what we do, and it's going to take you what it takes you to learn to do what the rest of us are doing. So, I mean, I don't want to burst your bubble. I love goals, and I think you should have goals, but sometimes we have to reevaluate and go with the flow or whatever. So all I'm doing here is trying to help you learn how to do this, and then you can follow the system
It's
and
kind of
get
like
where.
What Rory said in his audiobook that this kind of program, it doesn't happen overnight. It took him years or decades, to get started on this deal.
Yeah,
So yeah,
well, and there's a lot to learn. That's the problem. I mean, and there's a lot to do. So I mean, I have so much to cover here that we don't even know exactly I'm just trying to take it one step at a time because I already had you go this far with it. So we're going over this. I do need to add the translation widget to your homepage. So I'm going to go back to widgets here. I still have it on my clipboard, the code. So all I have to do is go to left side menu, which is the homepage. Here's the search box for that. And then click the plus. And now it shows custom HTML because that's the last block. So WordPress uses blocks. And right now you're really only concerned with about four different blocks. So one of them is an HTML block, which is custom HTML is the way they list it. And when I do Control V, there's or our script that we want. And now we just have to make sure we click on update. And when I go back to your page, to your home page, we're going to see that the translation widget is now here. Okay, so that's how that works. Now we fixed that. Yeah, you had a concern about that, and that's done. Now, remember I already said more than one way to do the same thing. So we go back to the dashboard, and I showed you a minute ago pages and posts here, but there's shortcuts. Look, right here, you can go right to posts from here. Same thing, it's just a shortcut. All right. And you can start editing your post right here. When you hover over this title, you click edit from your dashboard. And in edit mode, it looks different than in viewer or user view. Okay, so that's because all the styling that goes is in the background, and that you don't have to worry about that. At any rate, I do want to explain some of this stuff. So this is the title on the page, and this is the first paragraph, right? So, and you see the symbol? That stands for paragraph. Now, this is the first heading on the page right here, and this symbol stands for heading. Okay, so this is the first image, and this little thing looks like that, and that's for image. So really, those are the only four blocks you need to think about right now, which was the one I showed you with the widgets. And the only time you'll see that is when there's a video. It'll be an HTML code, And I'm going to show you that here on your biohacking page in a minute. But so here we are, and you were talking about your rank math. And so the way this is set up is you click this to get more screen space. So you have two components here. You have this is for the SEO, the rank math, and this is for settings. Okay, so right here, for instance, I have this. These settings are based on whatever block is active. In other words, see my cursor is blinking in this paragraph. So whatever's over here and under settings right here is pertaining to this block that I'm clicked inside of that's active. So in other words, if I click inside this right here and change the text color, it'll change it. See how but it only changes it for that block. Okay, so I can clear that and go back to black. But you could change the background. You could do the same thing if you want. But you might not be doing too much of that. Remember, we're not too much visual. It's mostly words that we're worried about. But you do want to probably figure out how this works, just so you can make your website unique for you. So that's settings. And then this is the rank math that you were talking about. Okay, so when I click on it, if I wanted more screen space, I could just click it again and it'll open it up and it disappears here on the sidebar. So I can actually have a little more space to work. And then when I want to see it again, I just click it again and it comes back. And think that might be where you were thinking there was something wrong with your rank math. And same thing under settings. If I have settings open and I need to be able to go over here, I need more screen space, I can just click it. And there's another way as well. You could actually put it in full screen mode right here, and it'll get rid of that sidebar. Oftentimes, when you see Rory in his training, it'll look like this because he has it in full screen mode, and he'll usually have one sidebar open, usually the rank math right here. But okay, so now I covered that as far as what I like the dashboard sidebar open myself, so I always keep it out of full screen mode right here. All right, so I hope that made sense what I just described.
Mhm.
Now you have your online community, and where you find that is in direct math right here, online community, right? So you're 85 on this score. So that's great, except that you haven't really modified the words yet, right? I mean, let me look at.
No, no, I haven't gotten that far
No,
yet.
you haven't. And the way to find out is to just go and look at Rory's website, 1F16. I think I still have it here. Yeah. 1F16, and you can always read. We would like to welcome you to our online community where great things are made available to you here. This is an absolute awesome place to be and explore a vast community system of more awesomeness, which I don't think this is a real word, awesomeness. Um, you are going to discover. Okay, so but this is what we do. We put our own uh, so you did remove that. It looks like you tried to maybe modify this first paragraph.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so here's a good way to do it. Let me show you how you can do this. Rory, he just highlights it and starts typing over it. But I didn't do that when I first started. What I did is I used a text editor, and I'm not sure a Chromebook has WordPad on Notepad on it. So, when I was using Notepad, if you have a text editor, if you don't, what you can do is you can go over to your Google Drive right here and open up Google Drive, and then you can use Google Docs. So, for instance, here, this is my high level, my Google Docs. Um, all these different items in here, and these are the different folders. So I can create a new folder in here, and I will. I'll just create a new folder and I'll call it Amy. Because when we get to backups, I'm gonna probably need to show you exactly how to do that. Um, is it two L's or one L? Two L's, right?
Two, two.
Yeah, Amy Collins.
Like
Now,
Philip McCall.
I'm a coder, so the reason I don't put spaces in is when you look at computers, you ever see percent 20, that's where the space is. That's how they use it. So there really isn't any space in computing language. You got to have something, and when they put percent 20 to take up so I just leave that out, the space out. Anyway, that's how I do it. So I created this new folder here, Amy Collins. Now, when I open this in my drive, it's brand new. There's nothing here. All right. So I can create a new Google Doc right here. And all I'm really doing right now is showing you that you can use this as a text editor for modifying your content. If you don't have like Notepad, I don't want to show you something you don't have access to. Notepad on a Windows computer, you'll have Notepad as a native thing, but on a Chromebook, it's really not it's more of a Google thing than it is a Windows thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. But anyway, so I want to create a new document. What the heck is this thing that's bugging me? I don't want to. It's because it's the first file that I opened in it. So untitled document, and I'll just title this. Uh, okay, so we're going to call this rewrite first post. Now I'm not going to copy yours because it's a little different, but I will go over to Rory's. Let's see what's here. No, got too many tabs. It's this one. So, and then we'll just, if you triple click in a paragraph, it highlights the whole thing. Okay, so I triple clicked there and got it. Now I got this on my clipboard, and I'm going to go back to that document that I just created, rewrite first post, and I'm going to paste this on here. And I would say for me, I would just put like an R, and then I would paste it, and then I would say me, and then I would start looking at what he wrote here. We would like to welcome you to our online community where great things are made available to you here. So we would say something like,
Hmm, that does look interesting. So you can actually do this in Google Docs. Ah,
yeah, you
okay.
can use Google Docs as a word editor, as a word processor, whatever you want to call it. So you don't have to worry about this way. You're not. You can always copy this thing back over. Look, he has a misspell here. Or this is Google doesn't like the way he wrote this. There's a recommendation here, but we're not going to use his words anyway. We are so glad you have found our online community.
Oh my gosh. That's definitely a time saver. It's like, oh my gosh.
Right, and then
I
it
mean,
also help you. So I
I
have a lot
spent
of
almost
tricks to share with you. I really do.
I
Um,
spent almost 45 minutes, almost an hour trying to, copy and paste or, try to
Rewrite
embed
that one paragraph, right?
everything in the
So, do
YouTube
you
thing.
have you ever used Google Drive before? It's got to be part of your Chromebook. They got to have.
I don't think so. I mean, I know it's there in my Google Drive. I don't think I've ever used it.
Oh, what, Google Docs?
Oh, Google Docs? No, I don't think so.
Well, that's
Just
how I
Google.
access it. There might be another way to do it. I just go to Google Drive. You saw the symbol for
I mean,
Google
I saw
Drive.
the presentation video, so I'm kind of
And
familiar with
that's where
that.
you're
Yeah.
going to save your backups too. So it looks like this triangle. You should have this suite right here.
Mhm.
This is your account.
Ah, there it is.
Here's YouTube. These nine dots next to your icon for your username. So when I hover over, this is what I'm right now. I'm in my other Gmail, not the one I send stuff out on, but it doesn't matter because my Google Drive on my business Gmail is got a lot more stuff in it, and it doesn't matter. I can, as long as I know what I'm doing, it's not a big deal. Which is you got to be aware of what um, user you're logged into. You know what I'm saying when you do this, because see, like for instance, I have two. I think I showed you this the other day. I click this and I click on this one, this other profile. Now I'll go to my Google Drive from this profile. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it looks different because it is different. It's a different profile altogether. Here's my drive icon over here. I somehow moved it or whatever, but you can get to Gmail and blah 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 here. So as long as you know which profile you're working on, you're okay. So I'm going back here because that's where we were, and we were in drive. Well, I don't need it. I have it open here right here. Amy. See, here's the navigation for it. So it's home, and then here's where you're going to see your shared documents, um, shared drives, shared with me, so that it translates across. It's all on the cloud. So I'll give you links to, um, you know, Rory's stuff, and you'll be able to access that when you have the link. That's why you might want to create a database of links if you can't figure out how to do that I'm going to ask Cheryl today on my study hall. If you want, you'll be able to log into that study hall too, and that's where we want people to ask questions. And because we want to try and teach more than one person at a time, because it gets too time consuming that one-on-one time. Not that we don't do it. It's just as time goes on and we get past session one, session two, then we need other resources, and that's where the study hall comes in. So, and I have study halls. Stacy has study halls. Monique has study hall. Renee has study hall. So there's a lot of different options for people to join a study hall during the week. So anyway, long story short is this is the document that remember I named it Rewrite First Post, and that's this document that's open. Oh, what I was going to show you is you can also create a database. So you could also come down here to Google Sheets, and then when you click on a new sheet, um, right here, and you could just type in, my links or something, and start saving links right here. Call this my saved uh, bookmarks or whatever you want to call them, and you could do that, and just in the next cell you could. Have you ever used database much?
Sort of.
Okay, well, it'll be something that you can play around with and learn. There's a lot to learn, Amy. I'm sorry, but it is. But it's one bite at a time. So, um, okay, so Amy Collins, and then we're rewriting the first post. And you got my drift on how I do this. We're so glad to found our online community. And online community being the focus key phrase, the key phrase, we need that to show up in our first sentence of our first paragraph. Okay, so what's he saying in the thing? This is where great things are made available to you. So,
Hmm, 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 hmm.
if I like what Google is suggesting, I could just put end. Awesome, yeah. It says awesome resources. I thought it would type it in there for me, but it doesn't. So I guess so Google is thinking, I guess they're just thinking for you. Okay, here's where you are able to access many awesome resources. Okay, so that's covered in the second sentence. This is an absolute awesome place to be. And so now I already used the word awesome, so I'm going to say something like, you want to embellish if you can. Don't make your sentences too long. Who are helping? Sometimes my mind goes faster than my fingers. So here's a point. Okay, so more is better on content. And a lot of this is fluff. All right, so you just need to say something and type it in there in your own words. So we're so glad you found our online community. Here's where you're able to access many, it's supposed to be many. Yeah, see, Google knows what I was trying to say. Many awesome resources. This is a very fantastic community of helpful people who are helping others learn what they're having success doing. Okay, so that's good enough. Now, let's see, read another sentence here. The vast community information system, the more awesomeness you are going to discover. You can put something like, now this is called a transition. So I would say, as a matter of fact, comma, this lab, I'm going to capitalize internet. I don't want to put too much because what'll happen is the next paragraph I'll need what I'm about ready to say. I've been doing this so long, I kind of know what he's got on there. All right, so this is what it used to say. Now you can do this on Google Docs. You could highlight this and oh, maybe I'm thinking of words. Word will show you the word count. Anyway, you can tell by looking at it if it's, you don't want to start out with three sentences in your paragraph and end up with one. You know what I'm saying? More is better. It'd be better to have four sentences in a three-sentence paragraph than it is to just, and once you get through these posts, you're going to just do them once and that's it. So now what you can do is you just highlight this paragraph that you wrote and then copy it and go back to your, and I'm actually modifying your pages to help you along there a little bit to get started. But I don't need this one anymore. Translation, no. And I don't need this widget anymore, no. And now I can go to your page. This is the one F16. You see, it says edit page, so I can tell which one it is. It's here. And then now I just click in here and do Control A and Control V. And now his words are gone and my words are here. So I got to remember to save it. Now, when we view your page after we saved it, we know you already, oh, this is one thing about posts. When you look at the individual post, it throws this left, right side content to the left. It's only it looks like this. When you go to your home, then you'll see. Okay, so this is the right way. It only does that on posts, so don't worry about that. But anyway, so now you can see you've modified the first title and you've modified the first paragraph. And then so you could just do the second paragraph this way. This is going to be a mind blowing. So I'm interested. Is that what Rory says? Uh, you have been trying to cover several different areas of interest. So you did modify this. It looks like you said, you spent some, I don't want to change your words. You've already spent the time modifying it. And what's really good that you did here is, uh, your rank math is 85, so that's really good. But that means you didn't get too far off. At any rate, if I scroll down to the bottom of this, remember I showed you there was a shortcut on your dashboard to get to the edit mode. But right here, down here by the date, there's this, but you have to be logged in order to see this. This black across, if you see Howdy Amy, you know you're logged in. I think I might have mentioned that. So here we click on edit this, and we'll go right back to where we were a minute ago. All right, so now we can start modifying this. Now this, you want to make it a little different, so you can always click the image, for instance. The image is supposed to, the alt text is what the uh, handicap, a visually impaired person has a reader, and the alt text, when it comes to an image, that's what they read. And Rank Math expects that to show the focus key phrase. So I know that that's online community. Okay. And so that's where that goes. When I click on all, that's under settings, right? So that's settings. There's no real, I mean, you could save it now, whatever, but I'm not finished changing this because, I figured we were going to change this around a little bit. So here's how you would change an image. You could click on replace. You could go open your media library and it's these two tabs. If you wanted to drop a new file here, you could, that you saved on your computer. That'll be kind of hard on a Chromebook. The other problem with the Chromebook, I remember when I had a student that had Chromebook, and he's long gone. That was 3 or 4 years ago. He didn't have enough memory, so he'd be working on his website and get to a certain place, and all of a sudden the whole thing would just drop. And so click the save button often. You know what I'm saying? Don't just keep going on down to the bottom of the page. Just go ahead and save it. When you get one paragraph or one image changed, click the save button. So I'm just looking for something that's kind of like online community. We might leave it the same. Here's what this abundance, so let's just check this out. So we could now, I know I'm gonna need the alt text on main community. All right, so now we're gonna select this. So two ways to do the same type thing, right? So abundance mentality or whatever that is, you can change it back or you can leave it that way or however you want. The goal here is to make this different than what 1F16 is. Okay, so that you can get qualified for the Google AdSense on your website. And the way you do that is by becoming the author. All right, now you had a question, and that had to do with you said that he talked about a link. And then the link on here, let's see if there's a link on, we can link images. So let me see if he has a link on here, for instance. No, it just goes to the image. So that means that'll open the image. Basically, here's one, email notification registration form on the right. Well, now this comes in session 2. All right. So let me show you what this is referring to. You don't have this yet. All right. So when I go to my website, you see this form that's here, register to be updated. We find cool stuff online here all the time at 2v97.com. And that's what my website is, 2v97. This form is what he's referring to. So when you go back to 1F16, where is it? PBS here. Oh yeah, that's a Google ad. No, I don't want to open it. Oh, that's happened to me yesterday. The lady says, I don't see anywhere where I can close it. And I see what she's talking about. Yeah, she was on my website. Oh, it's the X. All right, so what I'm talking about is you see where he has his form here. So I believe that's probably what you're talking about. It's part of the vortex system, and the vortex system really comes in step 2, session 2. So we won't really go into that right now, but there's a whole big thing that you got to learn there to do that, and that's how we do the V marketing. In order to grow our business and stuff, we need that vortex system. So just be aware that that's how that goes. So what I would do for you is I would just rewrite this to say this is done by completing the form on the right of this article. So he says, stay tuned for notifications right here. So you need to, this is a heading, remember, it's H4. The higher the number, the smaller the type, but this is an H4 heading. All these things you're going to discover by doing this. So the second step is, I'll just change it to, how about, or whatever you want. You can rewrite this later, but I'm just showing you an example. Now, what I could do is I could click this link and I could break the link. Now it's no longer there. So instead of saying this is all done by completing the form on the right, I would have to say something like, uh, remember he has it on his, I think you left it on his on your site, but let's just look real quick on 1F16. I'll just copy it so I don't have to type it. And now I'm going to go back here. And so this is done by, I'm going to change this part. This is done by, oops, I did the wrong thing here. Got my finger on the wrong key. So you don't have to do it in Google Docs the way I show you. As you can see, you can do it this way as long as you know what you're doing. So it's just up to that. Uh, my finger went on the wrong key. So basically, I wrote that first sentence. I took that link out for now. You can add it back in once you get your Vortex form on your website. Okay, so you know, did you end up watching that uh,
Mm, mm.
YouTube video
Yeah.
for? You said you were watching it this morning when I first got up.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. I didn't quite finish that.
Yeah,
I kind of
Rory was in rare form last night. I don't know, or Tuesday night.
I mean, I watched a little bit of the Zoom link, but I kind of get the general idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's. I signed up a lady. Actually, I signed up a lady on Tuesday, and I signed up another lady on Wednesday. So that's how this goes. But high quality issue. Bottom line is, uh, she says to me, she says, I said, "What do you like best about the video you watch?" And she said, "Oh, I love his energy." He is a high energy guy. There's no doubt about it. So this is our use. This is for our use to communicate with you only. So we don't need that in there. So you could just change this sentence to something like, um, I'll just add a little more. So I'll put in this helpful. And sometimes you'll say the same thing over again in different words because you run out of content, but we need to put words out. So, just remember, it's a lot of times it's fluff. We are constantly finding and adding new helpful products or services. I would probably just put some and uh, you'd say something like, be sure to come back often. I think I said that earlier. Be sure to return often. Yeah, I did. So I'm not going to say it again. Anyway, your information uh, will not be used for anything but timely communications. Okay, so now you could go ahead and say something like us, like this is like, um, and then I'll leave your information will not be used for anything but timely communications and benefits and awesome finds here with this. But that we got to rewrite that anyway. So we can say that same sentence, something different. But what I'm trying to show you here is now I'm going to click on save. Yeah, I did enough. Now you need to kind of know where you're leaving off. So if you're going to have to leave your computer, maybe write it down where you left off. I know because we're working on this right now, and I've done this enough to know. But I know I left off right here. The rest, if I was curious, I could always go to 1F16 and look and see what he wrote. All right, so now what we're going to do. Now we didn't do this paragraph here. Step one, first, awesome. So we need to modify this paragraph. And what I do want to show you is links. So I saved this now. So I could right click over here, come here, visit site, and right click on here and open it in a new tab. And it's going to give me a new tab for your site right here. But when you do this, be sure you're not actually working on one tab and then saving it and then looking at the other tab and you can't figure out how come it doesn't show because you have to refresh the page before it'll actually show if you're on two different tabs. No, not a big deal. But you can see this is getting modified now. We've got a different image. We modified this. We're modifying this step 2 right now. This is done. So what I'm trying to show you here is your contact us. And you're going to want to do this right here. So this is one of the first pages you're going to modify. Until you have the vortex form, you do want to, I want to add some more notes, see below. So did you come on this page at all or no? You don't remember. Contact us. Did I lose you? Maybe she's on a phone call. If you have been reaching out to us through your text emails, what happened? Go to chat. Hi, Greg. Participants, Amy and Greg. Interesting. Oh, it says that you're, oh no, I'm talking. Hmm.
I'm still here.
Oh, I didn't hear you, and I didn't know if you
Yeah,
had a phone
I'm sorry.
call or what.
No, 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 no. I'm I'm kind of the I'm kind of the quiet one.
Okay.
No.
Well, no, that's okay. We're still recording, but bottom line is, I see what happens is I can overwhelm people with so much that they don't ever get going. But I did want to answer not that they don't ever get going, there's just a lot of confusion. So I'm trying not to fire hose with so much. So we do want to follow the training, and you do need to modify your first two home posts. So I hope I gave you at least an inclination of how to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And what we're going to do is when you get it done, there's a plagiarism checker that you can run it
Oh,
through, and then it will see if you have it modified. We want to get to 80% unique. All right. So does that make it sense? Anyway, I'll have to send you the link for that. But you have to do it. What I did want to show you, I'm going to go back now. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Um, I did have something that I wanted to show you, and I believe this was the screen I was using. Um, So you're going to want to modify this, and somewhere in here, maybe write if you have, text now is if you can sign up for a free phone number and use that if you want to put a phone number on here for people to send you a text. It's called Text Now. That's free, and but you might, there's no reason for you not to put your at least your email address on here. Contact me through, this is Amy. I'm here to support your desires in the online marketing world or whatever you want to say. but you're going to rewrite this contact us page, and then you can use that as well, all of these pages have something like, for instance, here. Well, you know what? I might as well go over to the because this is really where we need to be today. So I'm going to come here to the health and fitness, and I'm going to click on the biohacking page. So, oh, that's
That was where I left off on the training last night. I was trying to, I watched
yeah,
that
but it's not
video
just a matter of
and
watching
I
the
was like,
videos. You have to actually do what you're seeing in the videos. You
yeah,
know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying? So I've had
I
people say,
didn't
"Okay,
think,
I watched
yeah,
all the videos. Now what?" No, you didn't. Watching the videos doesn't do it. We have to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? So here's
right.
where we were. Anyway, make sure I save this.
That's kind of where I left off at there. So,
Um, yeah. So this is good all the way down to here. Um, how to benefit the most from our online community and resources available to you. Those are Rory's words, I'm pretty sure. So I can go back to his homepage if I was to see how to benefit the most from our online community and resources available to you here. To you. Okay, so that has to be modified. So, you can do
I
it
think they
back.
were asking, I think they were asking for a hyperlink or something at that point, and I wasn't able to do so because I don't know if I had the, I don't know, the right tools or equipment or something. I don't know. That's kind of
No,
where I
it's
left.
just I don't think so. I think it should work fine on your Chromebook. That's not it. It's
Okay,
just understanding how to do it. So
yeah,
let's
mhm,
do that.
right.
Let me digress off of here and just let's see. This is Amy. I'm not going to keep WinF16. I got too many things open here. So this is biohacking. This is his biohacking. We didn't want that. Amy, this is the drive. We don't need that. We'll keep this rewrite page open. This is just a blank, and this is my site. We don't need that. Um, BRT script. No, we don't need that. Let's see. This by voice. I wonder if I have text messages. Let's see. That's my inbound phone. This is the lady I didn't finish making notes on. I gotta finish that. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna go back to visit your site. And if it'll tell me if I tried to leave without saving it, it'll say, "Hey, wait a minute, you're leaving." And you can either cancel that and click save, or you can leave it and it'll go back to what it was before you did click save. But then when you go back to that page, there'll be a red thing that says auto save version, and you got to decide if you want the auto save or not. You're going to come across that. So just be aware that that's what that is. You somehow got off the page. Maybe your computer glitched and it left. And then when you got back to it, it shows you the auto save version because that's on the cloud, not on your computer. At any rate, you'll just discover that as you go. So what I want to do here is actually, I do need to go to my website. I should have kept that open. So we're going to go here to your biohacking page, right? And this is where we're going to start covering doing links. Now, I know you said you can't get going in Bella Vita. So what I'm going to do is actually, I don't want to record this part. I'm going to stop my recording. The reason is because we might be showing a password or something like that. So we don't need that. As long as you can see what I'm doing, it's all cool.